Hi guys, welcome to AJ Scattergun with your host, me, AJ Crowley, and I am getting through some of my bundle backlog. I think it was only a couple of weeks ago I picked up a humble bundle with some sort of survival horror games in, and one of those was White Knight, which looks kind of interesting because the visual style looked pretty cool. It's a sort of monochrome black and white style which looked kind of cool, so I thought I'd have a crack. You're probably seeing more Scattergun videos at the moment because Luke's busy a lot, psychopathic. Oh dear, we got some opening credits.
Nights are just pitch black, without stars, and without sleep. Dirty nights clinging to you like tar. Like this one night, back in 1938. Boston. The Great Depression tsunami was just sweeping over what was left of America. Misery, hunger, despair. Times are hard, they said. Times were worse than hard. And the bar was about to close. As far as I was concerned, this was just another intoxicated day drawing to an end. If only I knew.
Okay. Yeah, it's this sort of black or white and nothing in between kind of style. Looked kind of cool. So we got black and white and orange, and that's it, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if they do stick to that. I mean, you never know, there might be some blood, of course. I mean, if anyone knows of any other games that have gone for this, let me know. I'm sure there's got to be more than just this game. But it's quite a nice sort of... It's a bold choice to go for this kind of style. But, you know, it makes the game look distinctive, I suppose. We can actually steer. Although apparently it looks like we can't crash. Nice that it does actually let you sort of steer though. Yes, that's it. Let's drive quicker. Okay, we've got some green. For better or worse, I'm using the controller for this. I'm not quite sure why, but just when I fired it up, it just felt like...
Shock was still echoing in my bones as the image of that girl coming out of nowhere surged back in my mind.
It felt like a controller game more than a keyboard and mouse game.
I couldn't remember. Thoughts were spinning in my head. I hope I didn't run her over. I hope she's still alive. Then, the pain. The terrible pain on my side. And this question. Where am I?
Well, clearly we're going for a noir style anyway. And it's listed as survival horror. So, I don't know. Noir survival horror. Could be cool. Car was on the brink of death. Well, yeah, I think it's already dead, mate. I mean, you have run it into a tree. Already on the brink. And that's a wheel. You don't get to lose a wheel and it not be dead. She's not going to be under the wheel, is she? Oh, yeah, that's a little bit jarring. When you're sort of moving one direction and then the camera angle changes, you're suddenly moving in a different direction. That can be a little bit worrying. Well, clearly we're going to go to the house, aren't we? I mean, this reminds me of Alone in the Dark from many, many years ago. The sort of, you know, fixed camera angles that you have to work within instead of like first person and that sort of thing. I could read the name Vesper on the mailbox. That name, no. Ever since the commotion, my memory seemed like gone. Seemed like gone? Okay.
I was trying to collect my thoughts, but the intense pain was scattering them like a bunch of dead birds. My fear of being wounded changed into an obsession. Was I about to die?
No doubt we're actually already dead, probably. W and S. I would have considered that romantic under other circumstances. We've got an ankh, I think. Is that an ankh? Carved on the tree? Gonna have a look at that. Hey, see, yeah, that's distracting. The kind of changing camera angles. I mean, I suppose it's necessary to make sure that everything's still in. This unknown symbol let out a powerful aura. I suppose it's necessary to keep everything in view, but it was quite a drop. Yeah, let's not fall in, hey? The bucket fell down a dozen meters at least, no way to recover it. Thinking this was a premonition was probably just superstition, but I felt definitely uneasy. Premonition and superstition in the same sentence. Okay, so slightly shonky writing, maybe. For sale. This board looked as old as the house. Now, why is there some... It looks like a smaller sign on the back of that, but it doesn't, it's not like indicating there's anything to look at, so... The arm came from a marble structure. What arm? Okay, I mean... Ah! Yeah, the changing camera angles might get annoying. I mean, this was quite cheap. I mean, this was part of a humble bundle. And I wonder if a bird table, nothing more. I wonder if there was a reason for that. William Vesper, no date on the grave. The statue was staring at me with a white and hostile stare. I couldn't help but think about that statue's broken arm. Someone had obviously moved it recently, but I couldn't help thinking it was some kind of desecration. Weird. The statue had been moved recently. Okay, we can't investigate the box that sort of looks as if someone's dug up from underneath the statue, which is a shame. The bucket had not been used for a long time. Do we really need to know that? Henry Vesper, a relative of the landlord. B. Norman. This name coming from nowhere was chilling. Why would it be chilling? Let's go and have a look at the other headstone. I'm concerned that the dialogue is, or dialogue, the sort of quotes are a bit weird and don't really make much sense. Okay, can't read that one. Whereas you can read every other one. Yeah, okay, I'm starting to see flaws in the game. The look is cool. I mean, I'm still liking the look. This could bear, you know, screenshotting a few times. But there's already some things that are very, very peculiar. Margaret Vesper, born Venter Cross. On the grave, the name Margaret Vesper seemed to challenge eternity itself. Who was she? The grave looked as daunting as a forgotten tomb. What a dire way of decorating a garden. Whatever floats your boat, mate. Okay. Yeah, I know. Broken arm. Good deal. I mean, there's some touches that are quite nice there. I mean, as he walked past that bit of wall, he sort of... It looks as if he propped himself up on it. That looked kind of... I mean, there's touches go... Unless that was an accident, that looked kind of cool. there's still some golden liquid inside the glass. The glass was still moist. Oh, moist. Oh, dear. And the chair was overlooking the garden. Someone was there very recently. If that person were to come back, my wound would be the only acceptable reason for breaking in. I'm sure that makes much sense. I might need to look this game up and find out which, you know, what country it was designed in. A letter from Martha Kenton to William Vesper. Under normal circumstances, I would never have tried to would have never tried to contact you. I'm an honest woman. I've supported my husband since the blessed day of our wedding, from which 2 beautiful children were born. I've given them the best education I could, but today I cannot afford to raise them properly anymore. We are ruined. My husband's employer went bankrupt. He's travelling from town to town, trying to find a job, while I have to beg for food every single day. My 4-year-old son has a bad cough, which is getting worse, and I fear for his life. Nowadays, we can see children die in the streets. Is this still America? I beg of you, who are rich, only a few dollars would be enough. We could work for you. We live in the shack under the best oil sign at the entrance to the slum by the Graham slaughterhouses. Don't hesitate to come, Martha Kenton. Oh, yeah, of course, sorry. Yeah. So it's French indie studio, Awesome Studio. So, yeah, I think there's a reason why the dialogue's a little bit shonky. But if you... I mean, it depends on whether it was designed for the French market or the English market. If you design for the English market, for God's sake, get someone to proofread stuff, like dialogue and things like that. You know, never... It's occasionally a bit distressing when you see games that are released like that. Couldn't see a thing. The window is watching over a tomb. You know, it's like when you get the flyers from the old and damp planks which had fallen from the front of the mansion. You know, when you get a flyer for a local takeaway and, you know, clearly there's spelling mistakes, does it take too much to just get someone to proofread things for you, for God's sake? Landlord was out, so the key might be around somewhere. Landlord? Maybe owner, unless this is a hotel?
No one around. I was all alone, with my pain growing and some nausea starting up. Don't stop. Think quick. Think well. It was just an accident. It happens. The girl must have made it out alive. I had to make it out alive, too.
Oh, you're going to be shit out of luck, mate. Someone was here recently, yeah, we know that. Okay, so we're looking for a key. No use, that lamp had seen better days. Okay, we've already looked at that. No. Done that. So we are apparently looking for a key, maybe. I mean, it suggests that there should be a key somewhere around to find. I've already knocked a bucket into the well, so we're not going to get out of there. I mean, I'm understanding that... You know, the whole hoped there wasn't anything useful inside. Well, we've knocked the bucket in there now, so we're kind of buggered if it was. I know it's sort of the point of the story is that you're injured, but the whole stumbling along thing gets old as well. Okay, so we can't go out of bounds, so whatever route we've got in, it's going to have to come from out here. The alarm came from a mobile structure, but there was no key inside. Well, at least that, you know, we actually got a good look at that. So no key here. Yeah, okay. Well, at least we know we're looking for the key now. There's always a spare key somewhere around these old places. Oh right, by moving the statue we can see things.
I had the feeling I was about to desecrate a sanctuary, to open the door to a world I didn't belong to. But whoever lived in there, they would understand. I needed help. Anyone would understand that.
I mean, the spoken dialogue is obviously okay, because it's clearly been read by someone, you know, natively speaking English.
Getting somewhere safe. That's all that mattered. As the doors opened, the mansion seemed to react to my presence. There was a smell, like a cornered animal. The smell of fear. And yet, I entered the place because I had no choice. I was praying to find a phone or some help. I didn't even bother wondering what happened to prayers when they reached the wrong door.
What an odd quote.
Hello? Hello? I need an ambulance. Can you hear me? I need help. What happened? This cold. The darkness around me. I was usually not afraid of the dark. But there, on that day, I remembered I had a matchbox somewhere in my jacket. The urge to light a match was growing with every new chill running down my spine.
Some African mask, a wooden face without a soul. The shovel was covered with fresh soil. Well, I couldn't open it. It was no use. The hat. A man was living there. Whoever lived here had a special taste for alcohol. Well, yeah. Can we open the door? Can we get out? Nope, locked. No matter. I needed help and it was in there. No. This mountain landscape couldn't soothe me. Hey! There we go.
Locked. Of course. And no way to know what was waiting behind it.
And we're not going to mention the symbol on it. 2 men on a spawn boat. A memory from an expedition. Encyclopedias. The edge was hardly readable. Oh, let's wait until we... Oh, now our match has gone out. So we've definitely got a limited amount of time. Who answered? I couldn't forget that sound. Okay, so that area of the room is still rather shrouded in darkness now, but at least we do have a light. And I guess that this door is openable. No? I couldn't go through there. Okay.
Locked. Of course. And no way to know what was waiting behind it.
The boots had been used very recently. Okay, there's all sorts of papers on the floor. Do we get to look at them? Without light I couldn't do anything. Okay, so we're going to light another... Oh, okay, we've got a door. Let's use that door. Hey, that door opens. Woohoo! The armchair looked comfy. I could get some rest and save my progress. Hopefully, if we've had some rest, we can maybe walk around without stumbling all the bloody way. Margaret's Diary, excerpt 11. August 21st, 21st, 1911. Oh, God. Suffocating in its useless illuminations and frills, the mansion doesn't have the greatness befitting a fortune like the Vespers. It's the work of a degenerate romantic. It's like a stain in this century. I ordered the flower beds on the east side of the garden to be removed. They made moving around complicated, and in summer their scent was unbearable. I didn't talk about it to Henry, and he was quite upset. For the first time, I think I saw something like rage in his eyes. For a few seconds, he did look like a man, and then he shut himself back in his melancholy and played the piano all afternoon. His jazz again, the stupid music which reeks of debauchery and misery. Okay. Cheery. Comes darkness, October 29th, 1938. So that's a bit more recent. The time came when we stopped counting. We stopped counting how many companies closed in the past 9 years, how many unemployed and families ended up in the streets, forced to live in slums around our cities. We stopped counting all the commodities wasted because nobody could buy them, thrown to the sea or burnt. We stopped counting how many of our business partners fell with us. It was 9 years ago, on October 29th, 1929. Born from the sick and speculative belly of America, the crash would throw the world into storm and darkness. We're still here, but we lost faith. And we stopped counting because these were just figures, because today they make us feel nauseous. Dawn seemed far at that time, and today some think they can see the sunrise. They seem to forget night and darkness are always out there, always out there somewhere. Very gnomic. A soothing aura was surrounding this lunar goddess statue. Felt like a comforting presence. Oh, I think that's more matches. Let's grab more matches, more matches. Memories, Vesper Venter Cross, 1900 to 1938. So we obviously haven't found very many. We found this one. September 5th, 1910, Williams, 6-year-old, daydreaming already. Yeah, this game could really done with some polishing before it got released. There's a lot of issues here, I think. Maybe we won't be stumbling around after we've had a rest.
Are you there?
As I woke up, I had recovered some strength. I could run using X. Hey! Good. That's a little bit better. Box full of old science books. Seeing the woman with the church candle, I was wondering where God was. Oh, very portentous. A boy with a religious dress, a house full of old traditions. Margaret's diary, exit 12, August 28, 1911. William is 7 today. He's with Henry running after the servants in the garden, dressed up like monsters from space. Games, always games. The mansion is all upside down and their yells give me an awful headache. I'm now cloistered in the office, unable to even pray. Henry's fancies keep William away from his great destiny. Oh, jeez. I have to bring him back to me, as this will be my only chance to make a man out of him, to make him embrace the Venter Cross legacy. Oh, that's not very sort of... again, portentous. To show him the way. Henry's a dreamer and he has no ambition whatsoever. He can't teach him anything. Behind every great man there's a great woman. Nonsense. Women should be on the front line. This is where the opposite brought us. This is where the opposite brought us. I have no illusion about how little power the world is leaving in the hands of women, but William is young, he is the future. I will act through him. And may night finally fall upon this house. May William stop running after deceiving lights to find the place he deserves in this world. The crucifix was not comforting at all. Well, they're generally not comforting full stop, I find. Nothing special about the wardrobe. Yeah, okay. I mean, when you have a game which sort of encourages you to be looking at damn near everything, it's a bit annoying when you say, oh no, that's not useful at all. Vesper, the landlord's for sure, but not... But what? But not a very smiling couple. Well, I think we've already got the feeling from the diaries that things aren't that great in that household. Closed. I was locked on this side. Okay, so is there any other way out of this room?
Help me.
Who was it? Or what was it? In my world, women didn't glow like the moon. And they didn't walk through doors either. I had to be more badly wounded than I thought.
Ah, right. We can. It's not just a few matches. It allows us to top up our supply, which is clearly limited in some kind of way. Oh dear. Hello, what? What? Eh? What? He goes, what? Yeah. No fucking shit. What? Yeah, well, you know.
Who was it? Or what was it? In my world, the women didn't glow like the moon. And they didn't walk through doors either. I had to be more badly wounded than I thought.
All right. Into a different room now. Can we find a light switch? Light switch would be good. Don't allow him to rely on these bloody matches. Who could hang the picture of a headless woman on the wall? In the eyes of the old man, you can see wisdom and sadness. Margaret Vesper, knave, enter cross, a woman as noble as coal. One of the paintings had the name Margaret Venter, the same as the grave outside. That woman's stare was noble as a frozen lake and looked just as cold. Margaret and Henry Vesper, two strangers pretending to be married. What the fuck? Another apparition, but that one smelled like death. I couldn't move close to it. It's an old lady, a corrupt soul, death itself. I had to stay away from it. Okay, I didn't even really realise that we'd seen an apparition there. Vesper Inc. And this is good old Boston, the home of the bean and the cod, where the Lowells talk only to Cabots and the Cabots talk only to God. February 8th, 1910. Vesper's Legacy, a gift from the past, elected Best Company of the Year. Okay. What the fuck? Ah! Shit. Note to self, Mother's Shadows. Mother's Shadows will never go away. I understand it now. Calling them ghosts would still be too noble. It is a filth that strives in the dark like flies on manure. As long as I'm alive, they will never go away. Good out. Clearly that's probably what killed us in the other room. Oh no. Oh, right, we've been there. Okay. So let's try going around this direction. Mark's Diary exit 19. Oh, it's that line. Oh, it's a Boston Toast by John Collins Bossady. Boston Brahmins Anthem. Cousins, uncles, their faces all share the same concern. Shit. Right. Okay, we've obviously outstayed our welcome in that room. Oh, this door's open as well now. Maybe this one has a light switch. Yay, it has a light switch. Okay, well, what was there inside that needed to be concealed? Well, I don't know, open it and find out. Note to self, armchairs. I'm so tired. Father ordered several leather club chairs from a Quincy craftsman. They're perfect. It's one of the few places I can rest and think. Margaret wouldn't touch them, and I have no idea why. Maybe because they're marked with the sun, which made her blind. I don't know. I'm just happy they're here. Thank you, Father. I'm guessing that's sort of along the lines of, you can save when you can find an armchair. Sheet music was taken away from that glass case.
Charging battery.
The box lid was displaying an esoteric symbol. The box was closed. There was a small opening for a key. Okay, so yet again, I've got to find a key. Well, that's kind of drip feeding additional options for controls and so on, which is kind of useful. Yeah, so every time we find an armchair, we can save, which is kind of useful. And it might actually sort of be a sort of winding the plot on a bit. Saving in progress. Oh, okay, no. So it doesn't look like we went to sleep and something changed to this one. Yeah. The globe was covered with scribbling. Writing would have been a better word. The windows had no handle, a very unhelpful peculiarity. The gramophone could only play Silent Dust. Whoa.
I decided to accept her presence. After all, from all those weird things I had seen that night, she was the only one who hadn't tried to kill me.
It's from Selena to William, excerpt number 1. Okay, Selena was on the jazz poster in the other room that we found. Dearest William, you wanted to know more about me. Last time I didn't tell you everything. This letter will make up for this. When I arrived in California in 1930, bad proofreading again. When I arrived in California in 1930, I'm only 18. Unless she's foreign. I suppose I can accept that. This is a marvellous place, and the weather is so nice. I spent hours on the beach, astonished to see how brown my Norwegian skin can become. In the evening, I hang near the jazz clubs. In the afternoon, I watch people play on the beach, humming the tunes I heard the night before. Sometimes I try to sing louder than the waves. That's a good exercise. My English is quickly improving thanks to the American songs I already knew in Oslo. At that time, I'm barely aware of the social misery that is devouring your country. I'm young, I want to be beautiful, to meet people my age and to sing. In Los Angeles at the Spice Club, I meet the members of a jazz band. They're talented and funny. We play all night. I forget about the hour and my parents. They even call the police. At the end of the night, the musicians tells me they're looking for a singer and that they want me. I can hardly believe it. Have you ever felt that you finally belong somewhere? It feels fantastic. Okay, I mean, while I do have some issues with the proofreading, was it the moon standing alone in the middle of everything? Jesus Christ.
This thing looked like it was reaching out from some fairy tale. The kind of stories in which kids get devoured by some witch in a dark forest. Was it real? Delusion or not, I tried not to think about it. Only a madman can think mad things.
Summer of 1912, my only family after father's deaths. Their voices, their footsteps, their lives, I miss them all. I mean, clearly the designers of the game have got a, clearly trying to pick up on the whole Depression era thing. William Vessup's diary, excerpt 12, February 6th, 1932. Of all the bars I visited, the Smoke and Mirrors appears to have been especially tailored for me. People there are quiet, melancholic even. They stagnate in the swirling smoke of their cigarettes like convicts, desperate victims that were pushed to the darkness by the crisis. But even if the bar is an elegant place, they're not driven away. They respect their right to oblivion. It's a place where they can disappear. I found myself a corner from which I can watch their comings and goings until I'm carried to the abyss by my own whiskey. Every time I'm caught again by the band, such good musicians. Their music is like a tear that time stretches. A tear that time stretches? Slow jazz, steady and reserved. It's the music of their time, the music of those who fell on the wayside. Someone told me about a singer who just got hired. Well, I don't think the band needs that, but we will see. Which clearly is this woman, Selena, who I'm getting the impression, he was sweet on. Right, is that apparition going to appear beyond these curtains again? Oh, no. Okay. A log. Good start if I wanted to make a fire. Note to self, kitchen key. My dear friend, for the lack of sleep erodes your sanity as well as your memory, I hereby decide to put the kitchen key in this book of recipes Father loves so much. It is in the library and won't move from there, which will prevent you from having to make extra keys again. Please start by trying not to lose this note. Your devoted servant yourself, William. Okay, so William was going a bit loony. The menu for the dinner seemed to be a good 20 years late.
Locked. Of course. And no way to know what was waiting behind it.
If the match was a nuisance, I could put it out by pressing return repeatedly. I need my 2 hands for that. Okay, so we only need... Oh, right. The fire could be an ally, but I needed to find some wood. Well, I've got some wood, haven't I? I need more wood to get the fire really roaring. I still need more wood. A log, yeah. Well, apart from the bleeding spooky, you know, it looked broken and dangerous, yeah. Apart from the sort of ghosts and apparitions, one of which does look as if it's actually killed us, the sort of survival side of this horror game doesn't seem to have come through very much yet, but yeah, I can live with that for the moment. William Vesper's Diary, excerpt number 9, May 11th, 1928. It's been a year already since Sarah died of pneumonia, a few months after Winterstone became disabled following his heart attack. They were my only friends. Today the house is empty like every day, filled only with my own echoes and these things I don't want to hear anymore. I miss Father so much, I still see him playing by my side. I see him put his hands on the piano keys, humming as he was playing music. I think about leaving, but then I wonder, what would that change anyway? Night is everywhere. She would find me. First I have to make my big plan come true and learn how to live again. I listened to Jack Hilton's Wonderful You, and I realise I've never had anyone to play with. This is what I need, some company, a companion. The city is so close, I guess it is time to leave. They have electricity and light there. So did you leave, or not? So I need more in the way of logs. Solitary Suns. Poetry, the last thing I had in mind. That plate was abandoned to the flies. Okay, can we... It would do the trick, but for how long? So we've only got 2 logs, so... That place was too dangerous to walk without a light. What the fuck? Oh, blocked from the other side. Great. Oh, right. That source of matches has run out. So the box actually has a number of matches left, so clearly we've on borrowed time as far as the number of matches is concerned. Doesn't look like there's any more logs in here, so we've lit the fire. Is there no light switch in here? I should probably be running everywhere now. Ah. Although running... Ah, fuck. Shit. So yeah, Selena, that's the... No, we can't investigate that. Any more logs anywhere? Yeah, assuming that's still locked. Judging by that, it's like if you leave yourself in the dark for too long, you just die. It's not cool. So, alright, what are we trying to do?
Goddamn door. Too heavy for me to breach it. Especially with my bad leg.
Ah, yes. Now we've got the light, we can open this bloody box. From Celine to William, exit number 2. In September 1934, during a concert at the Red Bait, we meet Jim Erziger, a producer whose label Two Roads is becoming prominent. After the show, he tells me I have a marvellous voice and that my Norwegian accent brings something unique to our African-American jazz music, that it is enough to get the attention of amateurs and curious listeners. I have to admit, Norwegian jazz singers are not that many, but I can't really believe he would hire us, but he does. He suggests we name the band Selena and the Frozen Sons. I am to be paid for singing. Everything looks so simple. Dad used to say that anything can grow in California. I feel like a flower finding its way through the snow. But my parents are not happy for me. I think they are homesick. But I'm 22. Life is an adventure and I don't know much about life. I know nothing of pain, for example. Everything changes. Right, so where's that... Where's that gramophone? I think it's over here, isn't it? No, no, not over there. There's a gramophone somewhere, or is it in the next room over? Ah!
It takes eternity to decide what'll be the best side to fall back on, but he won't tell now. No, he won't tell now.
It was her. That girl from the jazz record. Selena Sandvik. The key she left me was an invitation. Was she trying to help me? Or was I heading towards even more troubles? I had to focus. Surviving is a full-time job. Not the kind of job you can afford to lose.
There's a key. Where's the key? Where's the key? The key was an invitation, but to which world? Well, now we found a box. Where do we find the box? There was a jewellery box or something, wasn't there? Somewhere around. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? It was back in the other room. Some toing and froing going on here. Yeah, see, that's annoying because you're moving in one direction, then you have to move in the other direction. Very annoying. Ah. Ah, yeah, there we go. Over there. Oh, okay, so it's not a key to that box. Bum. Okay. I think we'll save it there. And that's sort of reasonably good timing for the end of today's Scattergun. That was White Knight, which I picked up on a Humble Bundle recently. And thought I'd just, have a crack at to go through the backlog. I picked it up because of the screenshot on the bundle that sort of showed this, very monochrome white, black, and nothing in between sort of style, which looks kind of cool. First, I mean, it is kind of cool. It's nice and it's got a very alone in the dark feel to it. With the sort of fixed camera angles and the sort of survival horror running away from ghosts and kind of stuff. On the other hand, there's some very annoying things in it. There's a lot of dialogue and text that doesn't look as if it's being proofread particularly well. That some of the sentences of which come across very odd and don't read particularly well. The camera angles result in a control system where I can run out of one door by pushing up on the left stick, and then the camera angle swaps, so I'm pushing up again, and I go back out the same door into the same room, and you end up sort of yo-yoing between the two. As long as you keep an eye on that, it's not so bad. The run mechanic, I think, might just be there to escape the occasional ghosts that, or occasional fatal encounters that you might encounter. I dare say you're not going to be running for very long. Overall, it's a nice. There's some good ideas there. There's sort of the use of that sort of slightly hokey retro font. You've got a limited supply of matches. You've got some lights, but not. Some areas aren't lit. The lighting effects are quite nice. You can see that there's a slight swaying on those lights there. The shadows, move very slightly. It's a nice engine. It looks nice. I think it would be interesting to see how far this goes. Let's just have a look on howlongtobeat.com and see how many hours of gameplay we would actually get in this game normally. 6 hours, and we've played about an hour, give or take. And we might not have played it as quickly as it probably could have been played. I didn't tell you to light a match, you dozy git. That's slightly annoying. Don't use matches if you don't need to. They're a limited resource, and I didn't tell you to use it. So, in summary, I suppose, it's a nice game. I'm happy that I got it off a bundle. I mean, I don't know what the full price of this game was when it came out, which was in 2015, so it's a few years old, so it's not cutting edge. I'd say it's got something to it. Definitely got something to it. I'd like to find out who did the vocals on that song that we just played. It sounded a little bit Bjork-like, almost. The Wikipedia page doesn't list who sang it, but it'd be interesting to find out. So that was an hour of White Knight, a survival horror game from French indie studio Awesome Studio, published by Activision. This was AJ Crowley's Scattergun with me, AJ Crowley, broadcasting for GameGrin on twitch.tv/GameGrin. You can find GameGrin all over the shop, so do a search for GameGrin on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, GameGrin.com, obviously, and you can find me at ajcrowley.live, at frustratron.com. You can find me on twitch.tv/AJ Crowley, mixer.com/AJ Crowley. You can find the Frustratron on Facebook and on Twitter and on YouTube, where you'll also find all of the Scattergun videos in a big playlist there, which I'm maintaining. I do have a Frustratron is on Instagram, but I haven't posted any pictures there yet. But that was White Knight. That was the Scattergun. I'm AJ Crowley, and I will see you on another Scattergun video very soon indeed. Take care, have a good one, and I will see you later.